it is the very next day from last video, which means it's episode 2 of getting our interior up to date. Last video you saw, we took out the interior from the E46 because we're going to be doing a color change on it. So we masked everything up, we gave it a initial clean, like just one swipe clean, and now we're gonna start painting. So the color I ended up going with was a duplicate color. It's a burgundy, but the pictures I've seen, it shows up more as a Imola red, which is an OEM color for the BMW E46. And the other colors were just like too bright. The red was way too red. So hopefully this is gonna give us the exact look we're looking for. And to be 100% sure, so we don't mess anything up further, we're gonna start on one of these smaller pieces and see. Actually, we'll start on the headrest up there and just see what color we come out with. Just like last video, we're gonna take our acetone, put it on a nice cloth, and just go ahead and give this seat part a good wipe down. Acetone is it does very good when it comes to like wiping off grease, getting any project residue out of there, adhesive. So I always go to acetone when it comes to cleaning things, simply because it literally takes off everything. We got this one piece taped up along the bottom. You can see that. I went ahead and stuck it in this box simply because it is like I'm able to get all sides of this. So I'm gonna start doing one coat and see what color it starts to show out as. Oh shit. Oh wow, so it's actually not burgundy. It's more, okay, cool. Cool, I wasn't expecting that much heavy coverage at first, but this makes everything better. I should probably put this on like more stable ground. Now we got one coat on there, and the coverage is like extremely good. I'm gonna have to do some wet sanding because, as you guys saw, I messed up the first one, but the coverage is extremely good and the color is very good as well. So I'm very surprised. I'm very glad I did not go with the normal red, because that thing would have been looking like that wheelbarrow right there. So this is perfect. I'm gonna set this to the side and go on to more pieces. Okay, we got our first piece painted up. As you can see in the sunlight, it is very, very, very nice. Now you put it up to the car. Good stuff. So let's go ahead, put this aside for it to rest. It's actually dry. I'm able to touch it, but I'm not going to. So put this to rest, and then we can go ahead and start painting the other pieces. So we've gotten our headrest completely painted. This shit is coming out amazing. Like, this is coming out extremely nice. So when I'm doing this, I'm making sure to like get into all the crevices in there so you don't really see any black. So, and it's doing shit. Yo, this is coming out nice. This is coming out real nice. Looking like actual red leather instead of leather dye. For these bolsters, I'm gonna have to wear gloves so I'm able to get into like these cracks and crevices and make sure it's all painted. Because if someone wants to buy the car and then they were like, hey, red interior, they're gonna think like, hey, this thing was professionally done, whatever. And that's what we're going for. We're going for a professional look for literally a fraction of the price. All right. We got this all cleaned up. We are gloved up, only one hand though. And I'm gonna go ahead and get this first coat on there. I can tell this piece is gonna be a different, it's gonna be a little bit more difficult simply because it's a larger piece. I can already tell just by how the paint is sticking to it. Make sure to get them edges. And then once this side is dry, we can go ahead, flip it to the other side, and then spray the bottom half of it. As you can see, we have a little bit of streaking, a little bit of dots right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this one more thorough coat, dry it, and then hit the backside. Both of our pillars are now painted up. Let's see. Ooh, Lord. This thing is coming out nice. Very nice. You see that? No imperfections here. Come on now. No imperfections here. Good stuff. Good stuff. Now we can move on to the bigger stuff. I think I'm going to hit this with one more coat because it's giving like a weird look. So I'm going to hit this with one more coat actually. Okay, so now we have the rear bench out. I went ahead, masked off those on both sides. I also have it supported by some boxes. Since it's a bigger piece, I'm gonna try to get as high up as possible. That way I can, you know, get underneath and I can be more detailed about going into the cracks and crevices of a bigger item. So this is our first coat. As you can see, there is still slight streaking. So I'm gonna go ahead, use the heat dryer or the heat gun, because with leather, the heat gun, it cures the paint significantly faster, significantly better. So I'm gonna hit it with this heat gun and go back at it with one more coat. As you can see, we got our bench done, looking mighty fine. Yes, sir. Very, very, very cool, very cool. All right, so we got about 4 more pieces left. We got these 2 and then the seats. I would say I got 2 full cans left, so I'm not worried about running out of paint. If you're gonna do this, definitely go with 4 cans of paint because it saves you time. You don't have to get out, go pick up more paint. These burgundy, the burgundy was hard enough to find. I had to go literally to the next town over to scoop this up. I went to about 4 stores. So luckily O'Reilly's had a full stock. And why is this not focusing? O'Reilly's had a full stock of the Duplicolor burgundy. Not the red, the burgundy. The burgundy looks like that. So luckily O'Reilly's had a full stock, grabbed 4, hopped out, and now we're back at the crib. But we gotta get that to dry. So we're gonna take this, put it on the car so it gets some sunlight. For this piece, it's gonna be a little bit difficult simply because this part folds up and this cover right here is black. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna double side tape this down and then paint this as well, because I want to hit these corners in here. That way it looks uniform, nice and clean. I want to hit everything possible so it looks like factory. So I think I'm gonna have to just double side tape this down to here, to whatever this mount is. That way this doesn't move around. I can paint it and I'd be able to get into these grooves right here. What I ended up doing was double sided taping that down. This can still lift up and then now it's attached to there. And then I masked off all of this stuff. I'm gonna mask off that metal right there as well. But it's all pretty much good to go. Just gotta mask off the metal and then that's it. So I went ahead, I put the interior pieces outside, that way it'll dry. But yo, this looks crazy. This thing literally looks so nice. It's the perfect shade of red that I wanted as well. So let's go hop onto these front seats. We got 2 cans left. That should be more than enough to knock out a seat or 2. So like I mentioned in the last video, this is actually going to be a 2-tone seat. So what I mean by that is the leather is going to be in red and then the plastic is just going to remain black. I'm going to go ahead and mask off the back part, the plastic, and Then we can start painting the outside. Okay guys, we got all of our interior pieces painted up, looking pristine. This is I'm gonna have to give that like a little lighter of a coat right there because I see some streaks. But it does look like the streaks are going away slowly as I let it sit in the sun. Other than that, everything is painted. I'm just gonna let it dry and come back in a few hours and throw everything on. All right guys, we got the interior exactly how we want it. $60, you can't beat it. The entire interior, but your interior gotta be good. That's the really reason I did this, because if my interior was shot, I wouldn't even have wasted the money doing this. So thank you guys so much for watching. If this inspired you to do the same on your car, drop a like. If not, drop another like. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next video where we throw on the interior for the C46.